Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Path of Exile. This is the hardcore Legacy League, playing as a solo self-found Deadeye. And this is a recap of a stream I did earlier today. We started in Act 2 town and we cleared the entirety of Cruel Act 2. And we are now in Act 3. We didn't really encounter any major difficulties. To spice things up, I added a guaranteed unique Beyond Legacystones to all the areas starting from the Vaal ruins forward. So we got 5 greater demon fights, of course, in the recap fragments at the end of this episode, as well as some of the boss fights. So we're now in Act 3 Cruel. The next episode's probably going to be just some normal progress, and somewhere during the week I'll probably end up doing another stream, maybe for Act 3, maybe for Act 4. I'm just trying to get through the content of the game as fast as possible. As I explained on the stream, we are facing a invisible timer that counts down until the beta starts, and I'd like to actually do quite some mapping before that. So expect a couple more of these recap videos of streams where we play through entire acts, with some more separate gameplay videos in between. The server stability has actually held up rather well, playing on the London server now rather than on Amsterdam, but it was stable, so there's nothing really to complain about. So with that, I'm gonna get you a bunch of highlights from today's stream, all just nicely condensed into a one bite-sized chunk. Hope you enjoy it, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye bye. So we are level 48. The entrance area was 44. I think the next one should be 45. So we're now in a good ballpark. If you have a look at our resists, we're capped on elemental, negative 20 chaos. Nothing too special about that when it comes to resist early on in Cruel. Eventually we'll want to get that chaos to, let's say, 20 or 30 chaos resistance by the end of Cruel. That would be nice, because then when we roll over into Merciless, it's not going to be as punishing, because of course we're going to lose another 40% there. Elemental resists, we want to overcap those even further, just to make sure we're going to be good in Merciless. But again, that's going to be more of a let's fix it towards the end of Cruel. For now, we are pretty much golden. When it comes to damage, doing pretty good. Ice Shot, we're just doing a lot of damage, and our hit chance is actually pretty good as well, 91. There's some ways to boost it further that we're not even picking up just yet, so it's gonna be all right. I did a whole bunch of spreadsheeting in between episodes. Oh, hey, hello there, Perendus chest mobs. As I said, I did a whole bunch of spreadsheeting around crits. Killing yourself with reflect mostly. That was the main reason for actually looking into it. Can I kill myself with reflect yet? The answer is yes, if I manage to go all out against rares in red maps, which obviously as a level 48 character is a little difficult to achieve. But yeah, in theory it is possible to murder ourselves already. The whole idea is, of course, if you're up against a rare, maybe not try to shock it, and if you're using lesser multiple projectiles instead of cold pen, then the risk is mostly contained. That's the short of it. But once we start doing map, and then we're gonna have the extra projectile from the Cruel labyrinth. We're gonna have hopefully an extra projectile from the Dev's Opus that I want to upgrade into. Then technically we don't need lesser multiple projectiles anymore, because then we just have 4 projectiles all the time. And then it could be an option to always run with cold penetration on. It's definitely a nice damage bonus. So there's a very strong argument for just always running with it. Of course, the problem is if rares don't have resists, then that's gonna hurt quite a bit. because you're suddenly doing 30% more damage to them rather than 20% less. That's a pretty big gap. So yeah, rares with reflect. If you go all out, then the reflect of a very unlucky crit might end up hurting way more than you want it to. So if you don't shock them, if you play with lesser multiple projectiles while leveling, you should mostly be good. In maps, however, my conclusion so far is if you're gonna run a reflect map, then it must be a monsters have 20, 30, 40% increased elemental resistance map. That is basically to protect you from your own crits. If you don't do that, then you're just playing Russian roulette, and eventually you are gonna lose or win, depending on the perspective. But you are gonna hit that lucky crit, and that lucky crit is gonna murder you. I notice I'm leveling Purity of Ice. I'm not using it right now, but I am using it on Switch. I've just got it there because I want to level it. Effectively, once we start running maps, I really want to be able to switch my hatred out for Purity of Ice if we're gonna do reflect maps, because, well, I really want to see if we can do reflect maps, and I spent quite some time doing some spreadsheet math, and the conclusion is if we're gonna run into a reflect map and we're gonna get a rare that also has reflect on top of the reflect of the map, and I'm gonna go all out, no resistance penetration, cursing, shock, just the whole shebang, maximum frenzy charges, then there is the potential to simply one-shot kill myself via reflect damage. Yes, you can spike it that high. However, if you're taking some precautions, like swapping out hatred, which boosts your damage, for Purity of Ice, which at higher levels actually increases your maximum cold resistance, then you deal less damage, you reduce more of the incoming reflected damage, and that is going to help you a little bit. If you then also take the precaution of adding monster resistance to the map, that is going to massively nerf your resistance penetration via the cold penetration, support gem, as well as frostbite, curse, then you actually have a chance of not murdering yourself even on reflect maps. So yeah, in the end, if you don't prepare yourself, then you're gonna simply die on reflect maps. If you prepare, I think it is possible to do it, so I simply want to see if I can. And we're gonna kill Oak as well. Here, have yourself a decoy totem. Curse you, clean up. Here, just try to shock you. Did it work? I don't know. Still difficult to see, but he went down quick enough, so I don't really care.
Sorry, life bandit.
And there we are. The final bandit goes down. It's one of the few times where I actually end up killing Oak. Most of the time I do side with him because he tends to just have the best offerings. Ooh, remove curse on use. On a flask with extra charges. And we only consume 4 charges and we have 35 max. This is nearly 9 sips in a single flask and we get curse removal on it. That is just too good. That's just too good. We're gonna swap over there. And with all of this stuff, we can now go to Eramir and get ourselves the final bit. So we have Revenge of the Hunted that maximized our life, evasion and damage for the moment. Now we have a couple of choices. Over here, piercing shots. A lot of utility, and it really helps with clear speed and also things like rares hidden in packs of monsters, or rogue exiles, or map local uniques hiding behind monsters. Piercing shots is just going to make it easier to actually deal with the bosses, especially if you get some allies cannot die kind of mobs. Piercing shots is just going to be really useful for that. Alternatively, we might want to beeline for Blood Drinker first. It's gonna increase our life leech. Currently we have 2% life leech. If we get 0.4 extra, that's effectively 20% more life leech. Combine that with Vile Pact, we of course get instant leech. So we're gonna leech more reliably. Just better for staying alive in general. And there's a sweet amount of life around it. Currently we're just under 1600. With this, 1800 might be within reach. I haven't done the exact math, but 1700 should definitely be achievable. That means we're gonna enter Act 3 with a pretty decently sized health pool. Yes, we still need to upgrade our gear, but yeah, if we got a larger health pool, we can afford more mistakes, more unforeseen circumstances, things like that. Alternatively, we take the path up here. Strength node, dex and int, life, dex and int. This is the path where we get some more stats. Oh, also strength, more strength. So that's 30 strength, 20 int, as well as life, as well as some crit chance, as well as some elemental damage. So this is also very tempting. So yeah, choices. As I said before, as a ranger, you are really constrained for skill points because there's just so many good things in here that you really have to make tough choices. Now, if you're playing a duelist or a marauder or a templar or basically anything besides a ranger, then most of the time it feels like you can just go for this, you can go for that, and then also grab that one and also grab that one. As a ranger, you're just left making tough choices. But I think with Revenge of the Hunted, we boosted our life and elevation a little bit. I think I want to go for the utility of piercing shots. So we're going to grab that. Then Blood Drinker is going to be a natural extension. And after that, we'll beeline up. Let's go for that. Just take it in the order that we get things. With a guaranteed unique demon per area. So the next 5 areas are going to all have a demon. We are going to do the demon hunt. Yet again, to support this, we have ambush. So we're gonna get a strongbox per area. It's simply a white ambush, so nothing too special, but strongboxes are pretty good for finding more demons. And a horrendous chest per area to help us attract more demons. This is the one that has the demons. It has the red circle around it, so this is gonna summon a demon. So let's see if we can set it up so that it's going to be above us. Yeah, throw you over that way. Okay, that's not really working. Who is it going to be? Naem, the Binding Stone. Been a while since I saw you. You're a hyperactive melee squirrel. And you're pretty dead. But first greater demon. Slain. Oh, hello there. Are you frozen? Yeah, looks like you are. It's just lovely, freezing larger critters. It does take quite some damage to freeze something, especially if they have larger health pools. So, no, rares have inherently more life than regular mobs. If they have the extra life mod, they have even more. And hello there, and I'm the Bending Stone. I completely overlooked you. But I'll kill you nonetheless. Like that. Boom. Accidental demon kill. I want to. Yay, there he is. It's a rare. That also has the thing. And it has the unrelenting frost. It is technically the caverns. I was hoping for this. He's my frost damage buddy. Probably also strongly resistant to it. Technically this is it's like a boss fight, but I'm not using my boss fight setup. I just got less than multiple projectiles. On the other hand, he's really going ham on my golem. And we murdered him. Haste is no more. Vengeance is mine. And that was literally the last room of the area. So no, it was the single last one. Now we've done a full clear. Actually, just funny. Let's have a look how many monsters are remaining. 0 monsters remain. Perfect full clear of the caverns, just so we could hunt down Haast. Well, that's the extent to which I go to hunt down demons. Oh, another Haast. Another Haast. Haast in the pyramids. Oh, yeah. Okay, just curse you, shoot you. Actually got a better perspective from up here than from down there. Also less terrain that gets in the way. This guy, of course, he is the Demon of Frost. He's probably resistant to cold up to bazoo. Playing with cold penetration support would have made this a lot easier. Right now we're playing with lesser multiple projectiles, so yeah, you get a better chance of actually hitting him. Because more projectiles, so if he moves you still hit him. But yeah, it's... when you hit him, there's less impact. A lot less impact. But for now, it is what we have. Let's summon ourselves a Vile Oversoul. And complete what we came here to do. To complete Act 2. Tick, 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 tick. Very ominous countdown clock. Okay, we'll throw down a lightning trap. Okay, it is shocked. See how much damage we can do to it. Well, that wasn't quite bad for a first stab. It's an act boss, so of course it's going to be resistant to curses. But all the little bits do help. We froze it. We froze it. That always makes me happy. Freezing end bosses. It's just fun. It's just a very simple joy in freezing axe bosses. The guaranteed demon is gonna be on the small ledge down here somewhere. And approaching from the top is always the least favorite position because your interface is going to obscure the mob. And there it is, it's a rare. What is it going to be? It is going to be Haast. 3 times is the charm. Triple Haast for the win. And I'm being particularly sneaky. Let's just put in our cold penetration gem here. That one up. Give you a nice little decoy totem to focus on. Okay, I want to see you. And there we go. Haast the Greater Demon. He's no more. 3rd time in a single run. That was, I think this is one of the best ways that we can just enter town. Just defeat a greater demon inside of the city gate. It's not really a majestic city gate, this, is it? It's just a little bit of wood that just glows when you hover over it. But inside of the city gate, we defeated a greater demon. So now, of course, we're going to be welcomed as the demon slayer, as the hero. And everybody's going to be happy. Well, with that, I'm really going to thank you very much for coming out to the stream. And I hope to see you again next time. Bye bye.